Hey there, y'all. So glad to have y'all here. Welcome to our Tuesday night happy hour. I'm your friend Jerry Toliver here, CEO of Fly Credit, where we help you get the credit that you deserve. And I'm so excited to have you here on our Tuesday night training. And so today we're going to be talking more about how you can survive the credit crunch that is here. It is live, it is well, and it is keeping people from getting approved for business credit. It's stopping you from getting approved for loans, financing, to take your life, your business to the next level. And this is not just for business owners, but also for just regular everyday people that's living life, that's trying to survive, and that's been hit upside the head with this crazy high inflation. Everything is getting more expensive, and it's making it harder to live. And so today I want to talk to y'all about how you can escape the credit struggle and escape the credit crunch that's happening. And so as y'all are jumping in here, just say hello. Let me know your name, where you're tuning in from. So glad to have y'all here because today we got to talk about how we can help you with getting your life, getting your finances, getting your money and your credit on the right track and surviving, and not only just surviving during this credit crunch, but thriving during this credit crunch. I'm talking about coming out the credit crunch with still more loans, better credit cards, better rates than everybody else. So while everyone else is complaining about the fact that they can't get approved for business credit, or they're complaining about the fact that they can't get approved for loans, and they got all these reasons why they can't get approved, you're not going to fall into that trap because you're going to know exactly what you need to do to navigate around all of that. Now, the reason why I thought it was important for us to talk about this today is because the economy is kicking people's butts. It is obvious, it is apparent, and I want to help you with that. I want to help you navigate around all the financial troubles that you may be experiencing right now. And so if you're in a lot of credit card debt because you've maxed out your credit trying to build your business, or maybe you drained your savings account trying to grow this thing, or maybe you tapped into your 401k because you're trying to spark some growth in your business and in your life. And so let's talk about, how can I get past the troubles? How can I get past the setbacks that this credit crunch is putting me in? Because I don't know if y'all have noticed, but it is getting a little harder to get approved for business credit. It's getting harder to get approved for credit cards and loans. And a lot of that doesn't have a lot to do with what you may be doing. A lot of it may just because the banks are tightening up. And so the banks are tightening up, the banks are lending out less money, and because of that, that means that there's less opportunities for you to take advantage of. And we got to fix that, because as a business owner, you need as many opportunities as you can get your hands on. So we have to put you on the right track so you can make it happen for yourself. Even if you're, experiencing some setbacks right now, it's all good. I'm going to help you navigate through all of that. So welcome to today's happy hour. I am so glad to have y'all here. Now, today is all about the credit crunch. It's all about escaping the credit crunch. Now, who all have been affected? How many of y'all are feeling the effects of the credit crunch? How many of you all are feeling the effects of the inflation? How many of you all are feeling the effects of everything getting more expensive? And so what happens is, when we get hit with this high inflation and the Fed is working their way around trying to get all this stuff resolved, unfortunately, it affects the common person that's working every single day very hard to survive. Because when we get credit crunches, what happens is you're not able to get your hands on loans, you're not able to get your hands on credit cards to supplement some of the expenses that you are experiencing right now. And so for most people that were on a fixed income, you were making, let's say, $60,000 a year, and you were doing okay with that $60,000 a year. In fact, you were able to live off of $50,000 a year from your expenses, your home, your business. $50,000 a year has been getting you by. And then what happened was inflation hit you, and then you have to now live on $60,000 of income. And so instead of working through the $50,000, now you got $60,000. You've maxed out your income and you've tapped it out completely, and you have no other way or other avenue to cope, right? To survive, to make it through. And so how do you get through that? How do you position yourself or put yourself in this position where you can still survive and thrive when things are getting more expensive, when you've already maxed out your credit cards, when you've already tapped your savings, and when you're unable to get your hands on credit and loans to supplement all of that until things get better. So, there are very strategic ways and steps that I think is very important for you to take. And so I think we need to start taking that today. And so as y'all jumping in here, let me know your name, where you're tuning in from. I'm so glad to have you here on our Tuesday night happy hour. Now, if this is your first time here to one of our trainings, just drop a 1 in the chat. If this is your first time here to one of our trainings, just drop a 1 in the chat. If you've been here 2 times or more, you know how we get down. Drop a 2 or a 3 in the chat so I can see who all is in the house today, getting your education on. We are live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And I want to see who's all in the house. Now, my software is not showing me everybody that's in here. I'm using a different software today. And so I'm probably going to have a little hard time trying to find who's in the comments. But what I need y'all to do is drop in the chat. This is your first time here on one of the trainings. Drop a 1. If this is your second time here, 2 times or 3 times or more, drop a 2 or a 3 in the chat so I can see who is all in the house. All right. So I see some 1s in the chat. All right, so because I got some 1s in the chat, I'm going to stop and at least introduce myself so you know who I am, what I stand for, and how we roll here at Fly Credit. Now, my name is here. My name is Jerry Toliver. I am the CEO of Fly Credit and the creator of the Fly Credit University, where we help you get the credit that you deserve. And so I got into this business to help people just like you with understanding how to manage their personal credit, manage their business credit. After being scammed out of $800 trying to fix my own personal credit, I hired somebody to help me with my personal credit. I paid him $800 and he didn't do nothing. He just disappeared off the face of the earth. And I basically had to figure out how to do it on my own. And I did. And it took me 8 months to figure it out. But I was able to take my personal credit scores from 545 to a 765. And then after that, people started asking me, how did you do it? So I started helping other people with repairing their credit, raising their scores so that they could qualify for homes as well and transform their lives. And it's just been such a joy. But the crazy thing is, about 2 years into all of that, into, helping people with repairing their credit, and after I quit my full-time job to commit myself to teaching everybody about their personal and business credit, I had unfortunately racked up almost $32,000 of credit card debt trying to build my business. And I maxed out my personal credit. I had drained my savings. I had took out all my money out of my 401k. I was on the brink of bankruptcy. And so the reason why I can speak to these troubles so well is because I went through it myself and I overcame. So I know for a fact that if you're struggling with bad personal credit, if you're struggling with trying to grow your business with using your personal finances, it's time to stop that today. It's time to nip that in the bud so that you can start exponentially growing your business the right way the first time. And so we want to talk about that. Now, unfortunately, because a lot of people have already kind of ruined their personal credit trying to build their business, I want to give you all some strategies on how you can maneuver around that so you can still get approved, you can still get the best rates, you can still survive and thrive while we are going through this credit crunch. Now, the great thing is this credit crunch isn't going to last forever. It's only a short period of time, but your job and your focus is to survive. It is to make it through to the end and it's to come out better on top on the other side. Okay. So the first thing you want to do if you want to survive a credit crunch, y'all, if you really want to survive a credit crunch, I need to see some money bags in the chat, because if you want to survive a credit crunch, that means you want to keep more money in your pocket. That means you want to grow your bank account balance. It means that you want to put money away to the side. It means that you want to come out better. It means that you want to make sure that your finances are intact. You want to make sure that you have a strong foundation that you can keep growing on. And so if you want to do that, the first thing you need to do is you need to cut back on some of your expenses. See, the thing is, what happened is before CV-19 happened, a lot of people were living good, right? Everyone was living comfortably. The economy was going, it was flowing. We were all living good. We were all happy. But then when it hit, a lot of things started happening, right? Um, the government, everything shut down. Everything was just crazy. And the government was giving away money, forgivable money. And it was just a crazy time to be alive, honestly. But what happened was people were getting accustomed to having more money than they probably ever had before. They were making more money than they were previously before this tragedy happened. And so they were kind of sifting and sorting through how to survive through all of this. So they were just so unsure about what was going to happen. And so what happened was, after the aftermath of it all, was that we were all hit with high inflation, more expensive everything, and less resources that we can get our hands on. And so if you want to survive that, y'all, you're going to have to put together a plan to cut back on some unnecessary expenses right now. So all the eating out and going to restaurants and delivery and, entertainment, a lot of those things are going to have to be cut a little bit short right now so that you can redirect that money into more prosperous places. So cutting back on, let's say, expenses for $200 to $300 a month could be beneficial to you, because $300 a month can turn into $3,600 a year, which could be helpful for most people. And so what can you do with this $300 a month extra? Well, you could save the money. That's what you could do. You could use it to pay off some high interest debt if you have that. If you have some credit card debt that's bleeding your pockets dry, then I think it's very important for you to start at least paying off that high interest credit card debt. Because what happens when you get into high interest credit card debt is that you get stuck with paying like astronomical interest payments, and that bleeds your pockets dry of your ability to save your money and invest your money into places that your money can grow. So if you have a lot of credit card debt right now from trying to build your business or just trying to live life, then I would highly encourage you to start working on paying off that high limit credit card debt as soon as possible, because high limit credit card debt is financial like suicide. Because when you think about it, right, if you're paying 29% in interest payments on a very high balance on a credit card, you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in just interest payments. And so it's time for you to start eliminating those interest payments so that you can redirect those interest payments into other places in your business. Perhaps you can start paying yourself a salary. You can put some money away for a cushion and for emergency savings, because let's be 100, emergencies are always going to happen as long as we live, right? So you always have to be prepared, but it's hard to be prepared when you're putting money in places where it's not growing. And, if you don't know where your money is, if you don't know where your money is going, if you don't know where your money is flowing, then it's hard to determine where to make the cuts, where to make the changes and the adjustments. And now is the time to make as many adjustments and pivot into places where you can grow. Because nobody is doing this to stay stagnant. You want to keep growing. You want to keep progressing, but you got to develop a strategy. So first things first is you need to cut back on any unnecessary expenses, save as much money as you possibly can so that you can redirect it into an emergency fund or paying off your high interest credit card debt, because a high interest credit card debt is ruining your ability to save money and build an emergency fund. Number two, what you need to do is, if you're having a hard time, so for my business owners, if you have been trying to get financing, let's say from banks, right? Let's say you've been trying to get a business credit card from a major bank, or a loan or a line of credit or SBA loan, and you're having a really tough time with getting that. A lot of that has to do with the fact that banks are tightening up. It does have a lot to do with the fact that they're lending a lot less. And not only that, even people that have good credit, they're a little weary about borrowing too, because interest rates keep just going up. It just keeps going up and up and up. And I mean, even if you have good personal credit, you don't necessarily want to borrow at high rates either. So you get left in a position where I'm either going to borrow the money or I'm going to tap into my cash reserves And then if I tap into my cash reserves and I run out of that, then I'm still gonna have to borrow money. So you run into a issue where I still need the money. So if you still need the money, then there are a couple of different resources that you can go about, where you don't have to go directly to a major bank, but you can go to alternative lending sources, like peer-to-peer type of lending sources, where you have investors that are looking for people that need money. So people like you, or people like me, or people like your best friend, or your mama, dad, cousin that need money, they can actually explore peer-to-peer lending. Now, one source for peer-to-peer lending that can help is like the Lending Club. The Lending Club isn't a bank, right? It's really a compilation of investors that are looking to lend money to other people with the ability to make money back in return. So it's not a bank transaction. But the problem with this type of peer-to-peer lending is that it comes at pretty high interest rates. So it can be a relatively risky option for people if you don't have a plan for this money. But if you have a plan for the money, but it could potentially actually work out for you. So try to explore peer-to-peer lending platforms if you're not able to get your hands on financing from banks, because the banks are tightening up their lending. You can also explore some credit unions. So credit unions are a good source to go, but just know and understand that not every credit union offers business credit products. But if you're looking for products just from your personal side, you can go to credit unions as well to help yourself with getting loans and lines of credit, because they have less restrictions than major banks do. So keep that in mind when you're trying to get lending and financing for yourself, okay? Next, you want to make sure that you negotiate with your creditors. Now, for people that currently have high interest debt, or people that have currently, maxed out their personal credit cards, they've drained their savings, they don't have any money left, they don't know where to go, then your next best step to save yourself more money is to negotiate with your creditors. Now, I actually had a conversation with one of my students about this about a week and a half ago. She had maxed out her personal credit. She had, used all of her savings already. She didn't have a 401k, but she was doing okay in her business. So her business was making a little money. And so what she decided to do was take out a merchant cash advance for her business. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about this, but I be screaming to the mountaintops about merchant cash advances and about how risky they can be, because they generally come at daily and weekly payback terms. And this student of mine was paying back $1,200 a week in debt payments back to the lender that lent this loan, this advance to her. And $1,200 a week times 4 weeks is $4,800 a month just paying back debt. And it put her in a bind, because, it was putting a drain on her cash flow. And unfortunately, her bank account almost went zero because of it. And so what I did was I told her that you're ahead of the game. You have not paid back this lender late. You have all on-time payments, but you about to get in some trouble unless you open up your mouth. Now, one of the biggest and best skill sets that anyone can ever learn is how to negotiate. And not just negotiating with banks, but negotiating with your children, negotiating with your spouse, negotiating with your boss, negotiating with your employer, negotiating, right? Just negotiating every single day. There are always opportunities to negotiate. And I always say, take those opportunities to practice that and exercise that muscle of negotiating to terms that are okay for you. So I told her, I need you to call the lender, and I need you to explain the situation like this. I need you to tell them, I want to keep this business with you. I'm running into some trouble, and these are some terms that I need in order to get this together. And she was able to lower her monthly payments from $4,800 to only $1,200 a month, because she opened up her mouth and she explained the situation. She negotiated her terms. She used my script, and she got it done. And so you got to learn how to negotiate. If you don't know how to do that, y'all, we teach y'all how to do it in the Money Mastery course, because negotiating is going to be a skill set that you're going to want to use, especially in the financial marketplace. When you're dealing with creditors, when you're dealing with vendors, when you're dealing with bankers, you need to learn how to negotiate, because it's going to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mark my words, if you learn how to negotiate. Next, you need to get your credit together, because there is no way in hell you are going to be able to get approved for credit cards, loans, lines of credit, business loans, any type of financing right now within this credit crunch if you don't have your credit together. So you need to have your personal credit good. Not just good, it needs to be very good. It needs to be 720, 740 and above. That's where it needs to be. If you're not at least 720 and above, you need to be working on that. If you don't know how to help, we got you. We can help you with your personal credit. We've got courses, we got services, credit repair services. Hit us up. We got you. But you need to have your credit together, because how are you going to survive a credit crunch when your credit is crunched? You need to get your credit out the crunch so that you can start getting those better offers from the banks, okay? So start getting your personal credit together, at least a 720 and above. And then your business credit. Now, a lot of people delay their opportunities on their business credit side because they're so worried about their personal credit. Now, the great thing is you can build business credit without using your personal credit. That's the great thing. And if you wait to do this, you are going to regret it, in fact, because what's going to happen is you're going to be working on your personal credit. You're not going to have no business credit. And by the time you try to get personal credit, you're not going to qualify for some of the business credit that's available, the good business credit that's available, because the good business credit that's available requires you to have good business credit and good personal credit. And so I always suggest people to work on both, because you're going to regret it if you have good personal credit but no business credit, or bad personal credit and no business credit. You need to have both. So work on your personal credit, work on your business credit, so that you can qualify for all of the offers and opportunities that are out here for you, that keep allowing these opportunities to pass you by. Because every single day that you wait, every single day and month and week that you wait, you are passing by opportunities to grow your business, to get out of debt, to get your situation together so that you can have freedom and breathe a little easier. Okay? So get your personal and your business credit together so that you can beat the credit crunch. Next, this is inevitable, y'all. You need to increase your income. Cash flow is the name of the game. Cash flow. Now, there was once upon a time where you could get approved for loans with just check stubs. Two weeks check stubs, you could get approved. Now, not so much. That is becoming a thing of the past. Instead, banks are getting a lot more savvy, and they're asking you to connect your bank account to their software so that they can verify your deposits into your personal credit account, your personal checking account, or your business checking account. And so if you don't have verifiable deposits into your personal or your business account, guess what? You are going to have a hard time with getting approved for financing, because they have to verify that you have funds, verifiable funds. Now, where do you get verifiable funds? One, you can get verifiable funds from a paycheck from your job. That is verifiable. Verifiable deposits from your business are let's say merchant deposits. So if you have a Stripe account, or if you have a merchant account with your bank, if you accept credit cards through Square or Shopify, or however you accept payments, that if you have verifiable deposits from merchants and Square and Stripe into your business bank account, then you can get financing just based on that. Now, I've been hearing a lot of talk about people telling y'all to funnel money between your personal account and your business account, and then take the money out your personal account and put in your business account, and your business account to your personal account, and to try to game the system. Now, unfortunately, my friends, that is technically that's technically money laundering. So that money laundering is not something that you want to do. You want to have your books clean. You want to have your finances clean. You don't want to trigger any questions. And when you've got all this cash moving back and forth with no invoices and no receipts, and that's not the way this thing works, y'all. Okay. So we can't fraud the banks. We can't fraud the lenders. We can't do that. We need to do the right thing by making sure that we're making sales, by making sure that we have verifiable deposits into our personal and our business checking or savings account. And so that when they connect their software to your account, they can verify the income and they can give you the pre-approval, or they can give you the approval right there on the spot. So, increase your income however you need to do it. If you need to pick up a side job, a side gig, create a new product, a new offer, do what you need to do, because increasing your revenue and increasing your cash flow is going to set you apart from a lot of other people that are struggling in that department. Okay. So increasing your cash flow is key. And then lastly, I guess my biggest tip for you would be to put your money and park it in places where it's going to make you more money. Because if you don't put your money into places where it's going to make more money, you're always going to be in the same situation. Now, there are several ways that you can invest your money. You can put it into real estate. You can put it into IRAs. You can put it into 401ks. You can put it into stocks. There's so many places that you could put your money and park it, right? But you've got to park your money somewhere where it's going to grow. And when we spend our money on entertainment, we spend our money in places where it doesn't give us a return, then we put ourselves deeper and deeper into the hole, and it's really hard to get out of that. So put your money into places where it's going to grow. Put your money into assets, because putting your money into assets is going to give you collateral that you can borrow against. And if you've got collateral, banks can work with that. They can work with that. But if you don't have any collateral, if you don't have any good credit, business credit or personal credit, you don't have any cash flow, banks can't do nothing with that. They can't do nothing with that. So if you want to win the game, if you want to escape the credit crunch, if you want to come out on top, then you got to have good personal and business credit. You got to have cash flow in your personal and business checking accounts. You've got to have, some assets, some collateral that perhaps you can borrow against. And these things all work together, because if you don't have it, then you're going to have to rely on two of the three or one of the three, and it makes it a lot more challenging. So, y'all, at the end of the day, these tips are going to be saving your butt in this event, in this credit crunch, because people are not getting approved as easily. Rates are higher, restrictions are tighter, and you want to still be able to build the business. You still want to be able to grow, and these are the way to be able to do it. Okay. So just as a recap, y'all, number one, if you want to escape the credit crunch, is you need to cut back on unnecessary expenses. 2, you need to funnel that money into more prosperous places. Save it or put it into a place where you can pay off high interest debt. Now, there are several ways that you can pay off high interest debt, but the reality of it is you got to find that money somewhere. So if you're not making the money right now and you're drowning in debt, then that means you got to find the money in your bank statements. So you got to look at your bank statements and find out where you're spending the money now, and then figure out where you can cut back, and then put that money into your savings. Or if you have high limit credit card debt or high interest credit card debt, funnel the money into paying off your debt. Okay. Put that money, pay off your debt. Next, you want to look for alternative sources for lending, okay? You don't have to go directly to the banks. You can go to peer-to-peer places like Lending Club to get some loans and lines of credit, but just know that those come at a higher cost as well. But however, they come with less restrictions than banks would come with, okay? Next, negotiate with your creditors. Negotiate is going to be the best skill set that you'll ever be able to grow. So start practicing that ASAP. Next, improve your credit score, your personal credit score and your business credit score. When you do, I promise you will come back and you will thank me. If you need help with that, we got you. We can help you with your personal and your business credit, all right? And then next, you want to make sure that you increase your income. Increasing your income and your revenue, those deposits is going to open up a lot more doors for you as well. So find out different creative ways to get that done. And then lastly, make sure that you get very strategic. Make sure that you get smart about where you're putting your money so that you can start growing it, because growing your money, putting it into places where, you can invest into your future, your retirement, is, I think, a lot more beneficial than putting it into places where it's not growing. So, paying for entertainment and going out and taking trips, that's cool. But if you don't have a retirement account, don't do that. Don't be that person. Put some money away for the retirement, okay? I have my bank account structured very strategically. So my business actually contributes to my 401k. My business, Fly Credit, contributes to my 401k, 7%. And then I contribute 7% out of my payroll check. Like that's how it works. So, there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. If you don't have an accountant, please get yourself an accountant, because they can tell you what you need to do to make sure that you are put yourself in the best place possible. So, y'all, I hope y'all got some good tips today so that you can start taking it to the next level. You can feel good and confident about maneuvering through this credit crunch and coming out on top with the best rates, the best offers, the best deals, and separating yourself and really standing out from the crowd, from other people that are trying to get business loans and credit cards as well. So thank y'all so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. We're going to be going out to hang out with one of our FCU advisors, Alexis. Today is her birthday. So I want y'all, if y'all have already talked to Alexis and you have, got her number, if y'all got the Fly Credit number, I want y'all to text the Fly Credit number. Email us at contact@flycredit.com to wish Alexis a very, very happy birthday. I'm going to be taking her out. Charlize and I are going to be taking her out for her birthday today to celebrate her birthday as a team, because we are literally like one big Fly Credit family. So we're going to be doing that tonight. I'm really, really excited. And so if you all have already met Alexis, hit her up, y'all. Send her an email at alexis@flycredit.com. That's Alexis, Alexis, Alexis@flycredit.com. That's FLYY. credit.com, and wish her a happy birthday, because she loves our clients. She does such a great job, and we really do appreciate everything that Alexis does for Fly Credit. So wish her a happy birthday, because she has been a phenomenal addition to the Fly Credit team, and she loves y'all so much. So thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it. This is going to be, actually, I'm going to keep this on the YouTube channel so y'all can get more goodness out of this video and maybe see the recording if you jumped in here late. And next time, y'all, next week, we're going to be back here to talk more business and personal credit goodness to help you with getting the credit that you deserve. Now, if you all need some help with your personal and your business credit, hit us up at Fly Credit University. We're actually opening up the doors to our Fly Credit 7-day business credit sprint on May 22nd. Now, we only have 7 spots left for this one. We filled it up pretty fast at the beginning of the month. But if you want to get your spot in our 7-day business credit sprint, all you got to do is become a Business Credit Accelerator member. And once you become a Business Credit Accelerator member, we're going to add you to the sprint, and we're going to get you off to a fast start to help you get your first $100,000 or more in business credit strictly in your business name. It doesn't matter if you have bad personal credit. It doesn't matter if you've been denied before. It doesn't matter if you're new in business. It don't matter, y'all. We're going to help you start getting business credit in your business name without using your personal credit. And I'm here for it. So if you want to get in our 7-day business credit sprint, all you got to do is hit us up at flycredit.com /7-day sprint. Now, I have left these links below this video in the caption so that you can get access to this on YouTube. Now, for my people that are on Instagram, you are going to have to click the link in my bio to get access to getting your consultation and your call scheduled to be a part of the 7-day business credit sprint. So if you want to start getting business credit as soon as possible and you want to get a quick start and a fast start on getting that done ASAP, then y'all need to click that button, sign up for the business credit accelerator, and then we're going to automatically add you to our 7-day business credit sprint. Again, we only have 7 spots left for this. They always fill fast. We only take 20 spots for each sprint. So if you want to get your spot before we get started on May 22nd, then get your spot as soon as possible. All you got to do is hit us up at flycredit.com. That's FLYY credit.com /7-day sprint. 7, that's the number 7-day sprint. Okay, I've left that link already in the caption for you all on YouTube. My people on IG, just hit the link in my bio. If my Facebook peeps, you're going to see that in the comments right after we end this live today. And so thank y'all so much for joining me. I am so grateful that you decided to join me today for today's session. I hope you feel good about the information, and I hope you really start executing on it too, so that you can take your business credit, your personal credit to the next level and finally get the credit that you deserve. So thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. Again, my name is Jerry here at Fly Credit. I will see y'all next time, next Tuesday, same time, same place. See y'all.